Miles Kitselman during the SEC Media Days revealed how he really has relied on his faith and getting this 6th year of eligibility, how it's already changing his life. Do you see him operating with like a new sense of like gratitude or energy heading into the 6th year?
I wouldn't necessarily say new. Like, he's kind of always approached it that way, and I think it's a credit to him. Like, we all understand, like, nothing happens by accident, and things fall into place in ways you might not necessarily expect, but he's been grateful for every opportunity since the day he got here. So I wouldn't say it's changed a whole lot, but certainly nice to have in the room.
I know it's 2 days in, you're not, full pads going, but what do you like about what you've seen really out of the 4 of the guys? I know you got some more,
Yeah.
but your top 4 guys.
No, I think, man, we put a lot on them through spring and through summer, and they've done a good job investing and making sure, one, just alignment, assignment, understanding what they're being asked to do has been really good. Obviously, through 2 days, we'll find out more as this camp gets going, but like the way that they've prepared and what they've done mentally to put themselves in position for a really good camp.
Ethan, when he got here, was making the transition from kind of playing a lot of wide receiver in high school. Now in year 3, was there a moment where you started to see him really, the light bulb come on as far as understanding the nuances and the complexities of playing tight end, more so than just being a guy who stands out there and goes and runs routes?
Yeah, 100%. I think, there were flashes of it a lot last year, and just getting it to be on a consistent basis where, like, he has all the ability in the world and knows it, and it's one of those things, especially in the core, when you feel what it's supposed to feel like and get used to feeling that. I think that helps guys be more consistent with it, where, a lot of times guys are putting in a bunch of work and really straining to get right with the technique, and they may not even realize it's wrong until once they feel it right, then it kind of clicks for them. And I think just the more you can feel it right, the more it becomes second nature.
How has Miles kind of attacked his rehab coming off the injury, and how do you kind of approach that with him during camp?
Yeah, I mean, like you'd expect Miles to. It's he's pissed at me half the time because he wants to do more, and he's going to push that as hard as he can, and he's ahead of schedule doing a great job with it, but just like you'd expect him to do it.
We see Miles being more vocal going into his second year. Is that been something that's been new for y'all since y'all kind of turned the calendar in January? How is he a different leader this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's tough when you come in as a incoming player, as a transfer, because the first job you got to do is earn the trust and respect your teammates. And I think part of him he'll say getting his balls back during the spring and feeling more comfortable just earning their trust. I think he clearly established that he's a guy that we can count on during the fall and understands there's space for leadership this year, this team, and is taking it to heart.
Miles had mentioned at SEC Media Days how the team, the tight end specifically, had really taken to his leadership. You mentioned it there too, that they had earned his trust. Why do you think that the rest of the unit, the rest of the room is really looking to him and relying on him and just believing in his leadership capability?
Yeah, I mean, I think his actions follow his words. I think he's authentic with it. It's not rah-rah. It's not coming from a place of, look at me. It's all about, man, how can we get better as a team? And I think part of it helps when you play the way that he did in the fall, that, man, guys look up to that and say, man, I want to be a good player. Here's a good player doing things the way that we're asking him to do it, doing it with great attitude and enthusiasm every day. Like, it's hard not to want to follow a guy that does those things.
Alec, what's the transition been like for Deshaun this year? I know he was a little bit limited in the spring. It looks like he's sort of filled out his frame a little bit over the summer. What's sort of the steps he's taken so far, and what do you want to see from him in camp?
Yeah, I think, it's really tough coming in because you want to go prove it. You want to go compete. He's competitive as hell, and being held back a lot of the spring, I think that's really tough mentally, especially, you're transitioning to college. You've got a lot of other things going on, and the one thing that you really love to do and want to do, you can't do the way you want to. And I think when he got kind of reintroduced towards the back half of spring ball, there were a couple days where it's like, oh, man, I'm behind. And a little bit of that sits in. And I think looking back, man, what a blessing that the summer he's had as far as how detailed he's been, the work he's put in, all the stuff to get caught up where he doesn't feel that way in fall camp has been really good for him. And I think obviously as pads come on, that'll be a transition for everybody. But I'm excited about where he is and just what he's going to bring to the table.
What has Jack done that's impressed you, or maybe even surprised you a little bit with where he's at now, maybe compared to when he got here in January?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if surprise would be the right word, but I think, one, it's a credit to the program down at South Lake Carroll and the way that they prepare guys, just his level of understanding what college football looks like mentally, physically. He came out during mat drills and was a freaking dog. I mean, tug of war champ down the line. Like, I don't know if he lost the tug of war all freaking pre-spring. And another guy just shows up to work every day, knows his job cold, plays really hard, wants to be great. Really excited about Jack. Yeah. You know, I think he's a lot like Kitts, where I don't know if he gets enough credit in the route. And, you know, I think last year, obviously, his senior year of high school, he played mainly defensive end. But you'll see flashes on his tape as a junior and sophomore. He's not nothing with the ball in his hand, and he understands, I think, in the route, so much of winning in the route is understanding what you're getting, what the picture is, what the leverage is, how much space I have. I think he's going to be a guy that absolutely can get open for us and do some things in space.
Coach, when you're trying to get a freshman ready to play just as far as the two deep, is it tough at the tight end position because they got 1 foot in the passing game, 1 foot in the run game? I mean, how do you kind of balance that? And
you know, you certainly ask a lot of these guys, and they've got to know it all. They've got to be able to do it all, just the way that we play. You know, I think everybody comes in a different spot. It's kind of just figuring out where guys are at, what they need, how they learn best. Like, some guys are true, get out, signal to them, walk through all the time. Other guys, man, would rather watch ball and like truly grind on watching the tape. Really just figuring out, one, where a guy is when he comes in the building, and then two, what's the best way for him to learn and best way for him to get caught up.
Take me through this hat you're wearing, because that looks like it's kind of been through the grind.
Yeah, you know,
a lot of guys will have like a fit for practice, and I feel like you just kind of, you know.
You want to be consistent. When it gets colder, I'll throw on a black hoodie, and this is really the summer.
Do you know when that hat first donned your head?
This hat was given to us first year that I was here, and it was back before everybody could coach. It was back when the analysts were like not allowed to coach, and the black hat basically said, hey, make sure you're not coaching on, you know, don't coach. And I don't know, I kind of like the black hat. I don't want to ruin any other hats, so I've kind of kept this one going for a little bit.
Coach, just specifically with Ethan and the physicality aspect, what kind of strides has he made there?
Yeah, I mean, big jumps, and like I said earlier, it's just being consistent with it. He's absolutely capable of being a dominant player in the core. Knowing what to do for sure was step one. I think he's gotten to a point now where, man, really pretty assignment sound. Now it's about getting banked reps of what it's supposed to feel like, and then obviously effort's the paint that covers up bad carpentry. And if it isn't perfect, if it's not exactly right, just straining, finishing with everything he's got. Thanks, guys.